What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your man, Chazzellis, once again answering the questions that you asked me. And this is part 2 of how to deal with a ratchet baby daddy. And this is dealing with the deadbeat dad. Now, a lot of you out there are dealing with deadbeat dads, which really sucks. And a lot of you are dealing with people who are not actually deadbeat dads. So what we're going to do is we're going to diagnose the problem first. That's always, if you notice, that's always the first step, because until you know what you're dealing with, you can't really deal with it. It doesn't work. You know, it's like if you went to the hospital and they were like, I'm sick. And they were, okay, well, what's wrong with you? I don't know. They can't really help you unless they know what's wrong with you. Okay, so that's why we diagnose the problem first. What you want to figure out is whether you're dealing with a deadbeat dad or just somebody who's broke or somebody who doesn't have the ability to really help you. Because if you're dealing with somebody, and I know a lot of people are like, well, ain't that the same thing? No, it's really not. Because people can be down on their luck but actually be well-intentioned and want to help you. And if you could figure out a way to get them where they can help you, then it'd be beneficial for both of y'all. And then there are people who actually have the money, have the means, and just refuse to do it because they don't want to. Those are deadbeats. People who could do more and refuse to are deadbeats. People who really ain't in a position to do more, they're not really deadbeats. So the stuff you would do to a deadbeat isn't going to work on them. My dad used to always say, you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. And that's some of the truest shit you'll ever hear. You can't make a person do what they can't do. You can try, and then you probably just lose what little bit you're getting from them. Okay. So the first person we'll talk about is the person who is in a position where they can't really do much. And we'll talk about the steps of dealing with them. First thing you want to do is find out what he can do. Okay, for instance, the dude works at McDonald's, right? Clearly, if he's working at McDonald's, he's not making a whole lot of money. And you're in a situation where you're like, look, man, I'm going to need $200 a month from you. And he's like, I really don't have $200. I really can't give you $200. I don't even have that. I can barely survive. So you say, okay, well, you know what? There's two choices you got there. You could either go legal and get the money that way, which if he has it, they can get it. If he doesn't, he'll just go to jail, which isn't helping you. So you can either go legal or you can try to work something out. Because here's at the end of the day. At the end of the day, what you want is what's best for you, your kids also, but what's best to keep your family going and you running. So here's what you can do. You can say, okay, what can you do? Give me $150 a month, or give me $100. And if you give me $100 a month, I want you to keep the kids every week, 2 days a week. Because that's actually more valuable to you. Because let's be real, $200 a month is like half a daycare if you got a pretty cheap daycare. That's half a daycare. That's not helping you as much as if you had somebody who was watching the kids on the weekends and somebody who would watch the kids during the summer for you. That's what you want to work on. Like, okay, how much can I get him to do during the summer and how much can I get him to do every week? If you got that going, every other weekend, summers, you're getting more than $200. If you can get every weekend and summers, you get way more than $200. And you get $100 a month, not bad. So you're looking at, this is his situation. He doesn't have money. That's not something I'm going to be able to get from him. He's not going to get a better job, most likely. And if he does, then you can work and start getting a little bit more money when he gets a better job. But until then, all the going to jail in the world ain't going to change shit. And what they'll usually do is they'll just put him on child support, and as long as he's paying something, he's not going to go to jail anyway. And now, since he's on child support, he doesn't have to do anything you say, because you can't do anything else. Once a person's on child support, what can you do? So you want to make sure that you work with the person in a way that you can get all that you can out of them. So find out what he can do. and figure out exactly what you need. Not what you would like to have, not what fucks with him, but what you need. Okay? And if you need someone to watch the kids more than you need money, then do that. Get somebody to watch the kids. Because that's all he has to give, and that's what you need the most anyway. Okay? And then number 3 is working to create the best situation for both of you. You want to make a situation that works for both of you. It's like whenever you make a deal with somebody, you never want to make a deal that takes all their money. Because now they're put in a position where they have to weasel out of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to say, say you're doing something for a club, like promotions or something for a club. And they say, we'll give you 30% of the door. You're like, all right. And you get people in and everything like that. And 30% basically is their profit. So they get to the point where they're not making any money. They're going to have to weasel out of the deal and stop paying you. Because they're not going to give you all their money. So you have to make a deal with somebody that allows them to live and allows them to succeed. Because then they're not going to have any reason to want to weasel out of it. So that's what you got to do with this person. You already know that it's not that they don't want to do stuff. It's that they're really not in a position to, and they haven't made good enough decisions to be in a good position. So you want to help them by just taking what you need and helping them to get, because as their situation gets better, they'll give more or they'll become a deadbeat. But you want to make sure that they're in a situation where you can help them help you. That's the best way to do it. Because if they can't do it, they can't do it. No reason to fight with a person that can't do it. That's going to be a monumentous waste of your time. Okay, now, dealing with a deadbeat. Here's why we do a diagnosis. Because the way we treat people who are deadbeats is totally different than the way you treat somebody who just can't do it. If you're a deadbeat because you don't want to do it. You're like, yeah, I could do it, but I don't fucking want to. I don't want to watch my kids. I don't want to pay you any money. I got money, but I'm not going to give it to you. People like that, it doesn't matter if you try to help them. It doesn't matter if you try to work with them. They're not going to give a shit. They're doing the shit to get back at you, so it's not going to matter. So here's what you got to do with this person. Number 1, try to find out why they feel this way. And the reason why you want to try to fill out why is because you want to make sure that you're not part of the reason. Here's what I mean. If the person doesn't want to help you at all, and the reason they don't want to help you, like say the person's paying child support, for instance, and they refuse to see their kids ever. Now, are you coming over their house and cussing them out every time? Because that's not your place. That's not helping anything. If you're doing that, you're contributing to the problem. Now, are they bitter about y'all breakup? Do they feel like you took their kids away from them because you're not with them anymore, and therefore they don't owe you any money because you fucked up their relationship with their children, blah, blah, blah. People who feel this way aren't going to change their minds. That's just how they feel. And they have the victim mentality, and that's not going to change. They feel like you're supposed to be with them for the rest of their life, even if you was unhappy. Fuck them. It's nothing you can do. Stop trying to... Because a lot of people, what they do is they try to explain to this dude, well, look, I was unhappy, and, I'm supposed to be unhappy the rest of my life? That's not fair to me, but stop trying to explain that shit to that person, because you can talk to you blue in the face. They're not going to change their mind. They're going to keep thinking that way. They want to be a victim. This type of person, all you can do is go legal. Go legal immediately. Go out there and get all the child support you possibly can. Make that person pay as much as you can. And here's why. Because they have the money. They just don't want to give it to you because they're pissed off. They're not watching the kids or not seeing the kids because they're pissed off at you. So, fuck it. They're going to be mad at you anyway. So get the most money you possibly can. Because as you're getting this money, here's what's going to happen. The being pissed off is going to kick in again. And they're going to say, man, this bitch is getting all this money from me and I don't even get to see my kids. So that's when they're going to start wanting to see their kids. Because they're going to be like, you know what? I'm paying anyway. That's when you go to step 2. Make the kids completely accessible to them. Don't make it hard for them to see their children at all. Because if you're doing that, then you're promoting deadbeat behavior. Make it easy for them to see their kids. They're like, well, I want to come see them on Monday. Okay. Well, I want to get them all week. Okay. Cool. Because here's what will happen. If they're doing the shit to spite you and you're not fighting them back, they'll stop. If they really want to see the kids, hell, that's helping you out. Now you don't have the kids around all the time, so you can focus on trying to find somebody else, things like that. It's good for y'all to keep the kids going back and forth and both of y'all have a good relationship with them. That's helping everybody. Even if they're doing it because you charged them all this money and now they feel like they got to get their money's worth. Who cares why? They're still their kids. Fuck it. Number 3, you want to get the family involved and make sure you build the bond with them and the kids. A lot of people can be shamed into doing the right thing if enough people know about it. I'm not sitting here telling you to tell their parents and their family that they're being a deadbeat because you really don't want to do that. That's not going to help you because then it makes you look petty. What you want to do is you want to bring the kids over to the house. Like if they got a grandparent or something like that or a parent, bring the kids over there. Because he's not bothering you, he's just being a deadbeat. So he's no danger to you. So it's no problem with you bring the kids over there, let his sister watch them, people like that. It's not a problem. Because he's not bothering you in any way, he's just being a deadbeat. So make his kids accessible to his family. Eventually they're going to start asking questions like, hey, old girl is bringing these kids over here a lot. Why is it that you ain't bringing them over here? Why don't you ever have your own kids? We know she has them because she's bringing them over here. They spending time with us. They talking to us. And you're making them allies to get this person to do the right thing. Number 4, and this is going to hit some people kind of hard. Some people going to get mad. Make sure that you are not yourself a deadbeat. Some of y'all spend so much time calling a dude a deadbeat and saying, oh, you ain't shit, you ain't doing nothing for your kids, blah, 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 blah. And you are a deadbeat. If you don't have a job, you're not doing anything to better yourself, and the only check you get comes from your kids, you're a fucking deadbeat. I'm sorry. People can get mad if they want to. You're a deadbeat too. You can't expect someone to do something that you're not willing to do. You can't sit here and go, well, I'm the one taking care of the kids all the time. No, you're not. The government is taking care of the kids and paying you to do so also. You're getting paid to help your kids out. They're your source of income. So really, they're taking care of you. You can't call somebody else a deadbeat when the only reason why you have the children is because you're getting something from it. Now, you may love them. You may care about them, blah, blah, blah. But you don't care enough to get out and try to do something. I don't care if you're working somewhere and you really don't have a lot of money, or if you're going to school and you really going to school. Not going to school one semester so you can get free daycare and shit like that. That's fake. Be real with yourself. I'm talking about really going to school, pursuing a degree, trying to make it. If you're being a deadbeat, then you can't get mad at that dude for being a deadbeat. As a matter of fact, he's just following your lead. You got to stop being a deadbeat if you are. Be real with yourself. If you're a deadbeat and it's all about deadbeat behavior, you got to stop that shit. Get on your feet, and you'd be surprised how much more often the dude gets on his feet too. Because if you ain't doing shit, he's not going to want to do shit. Simple as that. So, if you follow those steps, you work with a person who doesn't have his shit together, work with him. If he's being a deadbeat, take the gloves off. Go ham on him. Go as legal as you possibly can. Fuck it. Because, I mean, it doesn't matter. You know, he might get pissed off and try to leave town or something like that, but he wasn't going to do shit anyway. So go legal, go ham on them. If you're a deadbeat, stop being a deadbeat before you do anything else. Don't try to go legal on nobody else if you ain't doing shit. Stop being a deadbeat. Alright, so that's my advice for that. Hopefully I was able to help. I know some of y'all get mad about what I said. Some of y'all learn from it. It'll help you out. Either way, put something in the comment box. Let me know what you thought. If you have any questions, leave a private message. Or you can hit me up on askchazzellis on Facebook. Right now, that's probably going to be the quickest way to get questions answered because that doesn't have as big a volume as this does. So go to askchazzellis on Facebook. That's a good way to get questions answered. Once again, it's your man, Chaz Ellis. Like and subscribe. Peace.